taking action, fighting to make life better for every veteran, coming together for this beautiful country of ours. In the VFW's 123rd year, we were still serving more strongly than ever. The VFW's tenacity and heart were front and center over the last year, a year punctuated by fierce battles for veterans legislation, culminating with the Pact Act becoming law, and a call to VFW posts and members around the world to sign up and show up during the second annual VFW Day of Service. And show up they did. Newly installed Commander-in-Chief Timothy Borland's rallying cry of "Every veteran counts" ignited VFW members across the nation, inspiring veterans and our passionate allies to demand justice for veterans of every generation, to join forces and show that America's veterans are still serving in impactful ways. Commander Borland, the first Iraq War veteran to take the helm, committed to leading from the front when he accepted his role as leader of the VFW. His bold example ushered in a triumphant year for the organization, for veterans.
It's our service to country and courage to defend that country that makes us veterans.
Following Commander Borland's installation, there was no time to waste. The VFW's top priority was ensuring the Honoring Our Pact Act was signed into law to support toxic exposed veterans. In summer of 2022, the bill passed the House of Representatives, and confidence was high that the victory was cinched as it headed for a Senate vote. But then, in a dramatic turn, 25 senators who had previously voted yes for the bill changed their votes to no. This sparked a firestorm, and VFW members and leaders took to the steps of the Capitol to demand justice. Stalwart veterans advocate and comedian Jon Stewart continued to push the issue with fiery rhetoric.
I'm used to the lies. I'm used to the hypocrisy. I'm used to all of it, but I'm not used to the cruelty.
These senators could not hide in the shadow of their cowardice. After the VFW's persistent advocacy, the bill finally passed the Senate, and in August of 2022, the SFC Heath Robinson Honoring Our Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act of 2022 was signed into law. This legislation, considered by the VFW to be the most significant piece of veterans legislation in history, would now provide veterans who served in countries such as Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq expanded access to VA healthcare and earned disability benefits. With the legislation signed into law, the VFW got to work on another emerging crisis, preventing predatory claim sharks from getting a cut of veterans' hard-earned benefits. The VFW launched a nationwide campaign and new website, pactactinfo.org, to connect veterans seeking claims assistance directly to VFW-accredited claims representatives who provide superior service free of charge to America's veterans. Ensuring Pact Act benefits are properly implemented continues to be a key objective for VFW leadership. Preventing veteran suicide remained a top legislative priority. Despite a downward trend in number of suicides, it remains the second leading cause of death for veterans aged 18 to 44. Eliminating the unjust offset for Chapter 61 retirees remained another. The VFW strongly believes reform to retirement pay and disability compensation policy is long overdue. At the VFW Legislative Conference, we took to the Hill. Delegations of veterans, including VFW SVA Fellows, met the nation's lawmakers and administrators. In a standing-room-only packed chamber, Commander Borland testified before Congress, demanding action, not just words.
I will conclude with my call to action and remind everybody that we must meet the challenge to take care of these critical issues for those we represent, because every veteran counts.
Also, during the legislative conference, patriotic middle and high school students received more than $171,000 in scholarships and awards, as the VFW named the national winners of its 2023 Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen competitions. VFW National Commander Tim Borland was joined by VFW Auxiliary President Jane Reep to present this year's National Voice of Democracy first place winner, Scotland Stewart, with the top $35,000 T.C. Selman Memorial Scholarship. Stewart, a sophomore at Franklin County High School in Winchester, Tennessee, was sponsored by VFW Post 1893 and Estill Springs, Tennessee. He answered the question, why is the veteran important?
In a day when our nation's children and young adults turn to entertainers and celebrities as their potential role models, veterans serve as a moral compass of the virtues of sacrifice and giving to a greater cause.
At the event, the 2023 Patriots Pen first place winner, Leighton Peters, was announced. Sponsored by VFW Post 2204 and its auxiliary in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, Peters received $5,000 for her winning essay on My Pledge to Our Veterans.
It is unbelievable that my own grandpa's gentle hands are the same hands that gripped an M16 assault rifle in the Vietnam War as he put his life on the line for our country. This sparked a realization that a veteran is not only a war hero or military figure, but they are human too. They are courageous, strong, honorable, and brave men and women who also double as fathers, mothers, siblings, grandparents, cousins, neighbors, and workers.
We also took time for solemn commemoration. This past year marked the 100th anniversary of the VFW Buddy Poppy. Appropriately, Commander Borland visited Flanders Field American Cemetery and Memorial during a European tour. The VFW also looked back and remembered the 20th anniversary of the Iraq War, observed Vietnam War Veterans Day, and proudly sponsored the Bataan Memorial Death March. VFW representation was high around the world. Commander Borland, along with other VFW representatives, made their way east to Poland to visit with U.S. service members and learn more about the American mission to support NATO allies. From there, the delegation moved to Italy, where they met with soldiers and senior leaders of around Vicenza, to include the Sky Soldiers of the Army's 173rd Airborne Brigade. And for the first time since 2019, Commander Borland and other VFW leaders embarked on a fact-finding mission to Southeast Asia, where they completed a robust schedule of engagements to include joining alongside DPAA in its field operations, gaining hands-on knowledge about the search and recovery efforts of America's missing. Full accounting of America's missing and unaccounted for will be an important mission of the VFW until they all come home. Tenacity and energy remained high this past year. It was another record-breaking year for the VFW's cadre of accredited service officers, who helped more than 560,000 veterans recover more than $11.2 billion in earned benefits from the VA. Yes, we have accomplished so much, but we didn't do it alone. We owe a special thanks to the patriotic organizations who contributed generously to our life-changing programs. Longtime partner Sport Cliffs, who makes it possible for us to provide scholarships for deserving veterans. Burger King franchisees, who offered a lifeline for struggling veterans through their support of unmet needs. And Twisted X, who sponsored the Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen for the third year running. We also worked together with our fellow Americans to make our communities stronger. In its fourth year, the VFW's Still Serving campaign garnered widespread media attention for good works large and small across the nation. In 2022, among other awards, the campaign was honored with the International Business Awards Grand Stevie Award, the top entry in the nonprofit category in the world. An extension of the campaign, the VFW Day of Service marked its second year during the month of May, with more than 500 VFW and veteran-led events taking place around the globe. In everything we do, we honor the past and look to the future. We lead by example, not afraid to take bold action for veterans. Our unflagging commitment to every veteran is the fabric of our organization, woven into our souls as defenders of this nation, as brothers and sisters in arms. We are the VFW. No one does more for veterans.